guys. Today we're going to discuss about last night's match, Juventus versus AC Milan, the second leg of the Coppa Italia. See, the first leg was quite similar to the second leg. Initially, Conte gave the penalty and Ronaldo missed here, and last time out Ronaldo scored. But there was one thing in common, the foolishness of Rebic as well as Theo Hernandez in both legs. Rebic was the only attacking outlet by the AC Milan manager. The whole team was based on a defensive formation. They were quite compact at the back. In fact, the man of the match, I would say, is Romagnoli. He handled CR7 pretty well. The whole match was quite rusty, basically, because it was the first time out after such a long break. It's worse than pre-season right now. But I think the notable reason why CR7 was quite poor in this match, even though Juventus had plenty of attacking chances when they moved forward, but they weren't able to create significant chances. This is because CR7 played a central role. Sarri has had this problem for quite a while of how to keep Dybala and CR7 in the starting 11. CR7 is irreplaceable, so he has to start him, and that was the reason why Dybala was always benched and had started to get rumors with Spurs and all. But in this match, Dybala and CR7 started together. See, both CR7 and Dybala are good at the wings, and the best player for Juventus was Dybala. He made plenty of dribbles and stuff, and even Danilo and Sandro moving forward were good. But I think for the first half an hour, Juventus were pretty good. But CR7 always seemed out of sorts and out of position, and also his shooting seemed quite rusty. I'm just not saying on the basis of the penalty miss. Well, it happens to everyone. And even Costa seemed rejuvenated of sorts. But the thing was, after the removal of Rebic, this whole area that I'm going to show right now became vacant, and Bonaventura had to move up forward, and this led to quite an upheaval battle in the midfield. Bentancur, Pjanic and Medvedev dominated the defensive-minded Kessie and Benacer. See, there was no attacking outlet, and as they needed a goal because they were losing on the away goals, and the only chance that came was for Calhanoglu and Bonaventura. Even though they were quite defensively sound, but the attacking outlet was almost next to null, and Juventus were playing the whole match in the second gear, but they didn't need to step up because Milan didn't have any attacking potency. And Sarri made a huge mistake, I think, later in the second half, because of the new 5 subs rule. He made 3 subs at a time. Even though they were playing in the second gear, they were quite comfortable on the pitch at that moment. And making the 3 subs, shaking things up, and Milan players who didn't make even one substitution had some kind of advantage at that moment. But it didn't count to anything. And I want to make a statement about Lucas Paqueta, who was quite rumored to be almost the level of Rivaldo and something. Paqueta was extremely poor. Sandro basically pocketed him in the whole game. The only 2 or 3 chances were created by Milan. This whole game was tactically quite poor, and it's understandable because even in the Bundesliga, in the first week after this coronavirus break, every team was quite rusty, but Juve showed plenty of promise in the first 30 minutes. but you have to applaud Milan's defensive stability here in the whole game. They came to Turin and got a clean sheet out of Juventus. That's pretty good, if you ask me. And the team up of Kajaya, the Danish defender, and Romagnoli is something to look forward to because both of them are young in their early 20s and they have made quite a statement there. And I think Sari has to focus on the Ronaldo and Dybala thing because he needs to find a way and find a formation in order to fit them both because none of them are good centrally. And the midfield of Bentancur, Pjanic and Matuidi, even though they won in this game, but Pjanic had some loose touches. I think it will get better with time, obviously, with more match practice, as there's a difference between the match fitness and match practice, obviously. But I didn't think that AC Milan learned anything from the first leg. The first leg was exactly similar. They scored an early goal, which always sets the tone right. And Theo Hernandez made a silly mistake, and that caused them the red card and a penalty. And Ronaldo scored the penalty. And they're defensively so sound that they don't concede any chances from open play much. But it is these small mistakes that cost them the Coppa Italia, I believe. Yeah, thank you.